travel has really shaped your mindset about some wrong information you had about?
I will say it, it molds us and it reshapes us.
I think, great.
For
And you always wish to go back to Kenya.
And people who has the mindset of racism, sometimes because they are scared, no?
Yes, they're scared about the difference. There's I think it's like because they don't have an exposure this kind of information, so they scared to be facing the new thing. They're scared to be different. I think it's just like that,
But also, for racism, I want to say one thing that for me, I also realize one thing: inter-country or intercontinental racism. So, for example, in South Asia, where 90% people are brown, I won't say everyone, but there is still some kind of
discrimination.
Not discrimination, but
racism.
Thinking of that, if you are not that white, you are not that beautiful. So in a continent where 95% people are brown, sometimes people expect that more white is more beautiful. So racism is
not only in Europe. That means racism is both intercontinental and intracontinental.
But also racism is something when you
everywhere.
Like have some discrimination because of that. I won't say it's like in Asia it's like super, just because you have different colors you will not have good salary. It's not like that. But it's like a social standard, social beauty standard, or especially in terms of wedding. So everyone, So as a broader aspect, we just cannot talk about racism because here I don't see a lot of differences for your color or things, but I saw it more in.
So I think I like that point because most time when people hear of racism, they always think it is West against other continents. But you're just giving us a very good point to understand that racism is not necessarily some people against some people. Even within our own source, there can be racism everywhere.
Yes.
That's very, very good.
If on our own country, we have racist issue.
It's
kind of
everywhere.
Yes, everywhere. It's sensitive. Because of cultural difference, and we have the kind of stereotype like, Chinese people love money, and then other ethnicity they are more lazy, or other ethnicity they are more, I don't know, every kind of description towards that particular ethnicity. We still have that within our own community, and even within the same community, you can still find discrimination.
So that's fine. You've really expanded on the cause of racism and all that. But what would you suggest as people who have done a lot of travel that will help cure this canker? Though you may not be able to change everyone's mindset, what do you think is the principal thing that if we all should do, we can get rid of this attitude of ill-treating people because of their race or their body size or their body shape?
I think it's also one important thing is the family value, because family is the first institution from where we start learning. So learning before going to the school, we learn to talk, we learn to speak, we learn everything from our family. So for me, my very personal opinion is, doesn't matter wherever it is, it should come from the family. So like how your parents or your grandparents or your family will teach you to respect people, to treat people, you will learn from there. Because once you can start practicing from your family, then come the society. So when in a society everyone is giving the same education to their kid, all the kids will have the good mindset of making a good society, and then the society you can make it in a community, and then the community can lead a good country. So it should come from the family, in my opinion.
Great, that's perfect. You want to say?
Maybe I just want to add something. So just being wisely to consume the information.
Yes.
Like we nowadays we have a lot of technology gadget. So I think it's also important to filter our information, because sometimes also people just want to say what they want to say, like it's not really theoretically right or technically
It creates gaps between people.
yeah. So I think it's also something important that you choose your information you want to consume,
Okay.
and then just filter it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, since you are a scientist or maybe incoming scientist, I would just want to ask something on education. How do you see the education in Europe? You've traveled to Africa to study, you've traveled to Asia to study. I mean, you've studied in Asia because you're from Asia. You've been in Europe. What do you say is the difference in the education system?
The levels
It's
are different.
difference. It's huge. I think this is something that has the most clear differences in terms of education. For example, when I first came, I had to learn everything from the scratch, It doesn't mean that I didn't know anything. Of course, today I'm here. I cannot disrespect my background because my background bring me here. So of course I did learn a lot of things.
But do you think the learning almost everything again was because you didn't get that information because it was a different program on a different field?
No, I think it's a different structure, more specifically.
Yes,
so the system, because here it's more understandable. You really need to understand every single thing. For example, when you are studying something here, one slide is only one graph and the professor is speaking about the graph for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But back home in my country, when I was studying, it's not like one slide is only one graph. It's more like an accumulation of different kind of informations. So in that case, for me, I found this thing really different, and it's mostly the structure, because the knowledge is everywhere the similar, but how they are
They present the information.
presenting, like the illustration, how they are doing and how we did, that's very different. And when you are starting something new, so the start point when you want to crack the system, that is of course different and difficult. Yeah.
All right, great.
Structure is
Structure, and also technological thing. I think here it's more important to know so many technical things, so many softwares. But for me, it was different back home. Statistics.
Yeah, I think it's also to say, like, during the class, I think here we more kind of pressure to speak out our our perspective.
Yeah.
We're not just listening the professor and then just okay, I need to remember what he said. No, but here I realized that if professor said that, I could say what I want to say in my perspective, and everyone have a different perspective, and we respect each other. And I learned how to, like building the discussion here and
critical thinking.
Critical
Instead
thinking.
of as though everything is
Memorized.
Yeah. But I can see difference in resources. Resources is a big
that
difference.
was my next question. What do you think causes the difference?
Because compared to my home country, of course, studying European allowed me to expose to all kind of resources, and also first-hand resources, I would say. So here is like it's like at the front line of scientific research as well, in terms of information as well. Studying here allowed me to receive the first-hand information. But back in our country, maybe it already be like secondhand or even like I don't know, old-fashioned information, and also resources in terms of facilities as well. Like for example, back then if I want to do research, I need a certain kind of machine. Maybe I need to apply for, no, I need to look for the machine in different institutions. But here, almost every university I have been to, from Belgium to Italy, they have enough, they are well equipped with different kind of machine. And then back in Africa as well, in Africa the resources wasn't that sufficient, so you can see the difference.
And the difference is very clear.
Yeah, the facilities are different.
So what do you say, or probably what do you recommend that your country, and if they happen to come across this video, what do you tell your leaders in terms of education and research? What do you suggest to them that they do?
A lot.
My country.
Yeah, a lot. Just bulleting down for us.
Yeah.
Critical thinking.
Yeah.
So the
Ask
education-
questions.
Okay.
Don't just listen to the professors because
But also, I think
do your own research.
like, because I mean, Indonesia is a huge country. So if you know, like from the countryside, you really doesn't have a basic facilities, basic all kind of resources. So I think it's really important. But it's a lot of work, you know. Like it's not because of just the leaders, but I think it's everyone should be work in the same way. To be, you know, like normalize or standardize every state of the education, because in Indonesia we have really big issues of the education, also research. So you can see that if you come from the capital city, you will be well educated. But if you compare to countryside, it will be a different gap. So I think I wish that being standardized in every education level in Indonesia is
It's true.
It's true, yeah.
For me, I would like to add a little bit with Rishti that she said that making a standardized education for everyone, especially a developing country like my home country, because in the capital, lot of good educational institution, English medium school, English version school, but in a small city, in a small town, not students are learning about very good English. So it's not only about English, like the system should be equal in everywhere, you know, in order to make it make the I don't know the term, like the equality, and also which education you are talking about. For example, the normal general education at home, or what we should learn for coming higher education. So if I want to talk about advice for that, of course I will say what I suffered. For me, learn statistics and include the statistics in the university education, not just basic statistics, that you can use the softwares and you can know the use of softwares and how you can use the statistics in your research. I know as a country like my country, it's difficult, but at least some course and some practical study should be included, so that students who will come to Europe, because when we come here, not only the study is our main concern, because we have to adapt with lot of other things, food, culture, weather and everything. So if you have some good background for at least your study, life will be a little bit easy for you. Yeah.